Hi friends, welcome to the lecture of Advanced Discrete Mathematics. Today we are going to study two important theorems. Let V be a vertex of the connected graph G. Graph G. In V is a cutter vertex. V is cutter vertex. We can only if there are vertices U and W and W different from V. Such that on every W part in G. Here we have to prove that if V is a vertex of the collected graph G, then we have to prove that V is a cutter vertex of a graph G. If and only there are two vertices U and W, there are two vertices U and W in G different from vertex V such that V is on every U to W path in G. So here there is a statement which is a if and only if, then we have to prove it in a two steps. Let us see first part is only if part. Only if part. In first step, assume that let V be a cut vertex of a connected graph. Connected graph G. As V is a cut vertex, then by definition of cut vertex of a graph G, G minus V becomes a disconnected graph. Connected graph. That is, the graph G minus V has more connected component than the graph G has. As G is a connected graph, therefore G minus V has more connected component than the graph G, which implies there exist two vertices U and W in graph G which lie in or which belongs to two different components in G minus V. G minus V. As G minus V is a disconnected graph, then it has at least two components. Since graph G is connected, then component of G will be equal to 1. Then G minus V has at least two components. From these, G minus V is as a disconnected graph, then there exist at least two vertices U and W which are belonging to two different components. Since graph G minus V has more component than the graph G, so possibility of such two vertices is possible. As although there is a path from U to W in G, there is no path from U to W in G minus V. Since in G minus V, U and W belong to two different components. So, if there is a path from U to, as G is a connected graph, then there is a path from U to W in G. But since U and W belong to two different components in G minus V, so there is no path from U to W in G minus V. Therefore, this is due to our deletion of vertex V. Therefore, from this we can conclude that every path from U to W contains an vertex V and vertex V. Since if we remove an vertex V from graph G, then there is no path from vertex U to vertex W. Then V is the vertex which belongs to every path from vertex U to W, and this one is we have to prove. That is, here we have to prove that there are two vertices U and W belong to two different components and which are other than vertex V, such that V is on every U to W path in G, and hence we have proved it here. So first part is proved. Okay. Now in second part, if part, we have to prove that V is a cut vertex by taking two vertices U and W which are different from V, and V is on every U to W path. Then we have to prove that V is a cut vertex. Let U and W be two vertices in G different from V, such that every W path contains an vertex V. Contains an vertex V, and we have to prove that V is a cut vertex. That is, G minus V has more connected component than the graph G has. So, as given that U and W are two vertices of a graph G different from vertex V, such that every U to W path contains an vertex V. So, as every U to W path contains an vertex V, so if we remove an vertex V from that path, then there is no path from vertex U to W. Then graph G minus V becomes a disconnected graph. If we remove G minus V from graph G, then G minus V becomes disconnected. How? Since every U to W path contains an vertex V, there is no possible path from vertex U to W which does not involve an vertex V. Since every U to W path contains an vertex V, so if we remove an vertex V from graph G, then U and W belonging to two different components. It means already graph G is connected, but here if we remove an vertex V from graph G, then U and W belonging to two different components. It means that the graph becomes a disconnected graph. So G minus V is a disconnected graph, which implies that G minus V has more connected component than the graph G has. So by definition of cut vertex, V is a cut vertex, which implies V is cut vertex, and hence the okay. Now next theorem is let G be a graph with n vertices where n is greater equal by 2, then G has at least two vertices which are not the cut vertices. So if we have given any graph G with n vertices where number of vertices will be greater equal by 2, then we have to prove that G has at least 2 vertices which are not the cut vertices. So what we have to prove the result for any graph G, that is either graph G becomes a disconnected graph or it is a connected graph. If we prove for a connected graph, then from this we can generalize it to a disconnected graph, since disconnected graph contains a number of connected components. So this result holds. If we prove for connected graph, then it will obviously hold for each connected component, and from this we conclude that it is also true for a disconnected graph. Let G be a connected graph. Connected graph. So we have to prove that G has at least 2 vertices which are not the cut vertices. To prove that G has at least 2 vertices which are not the cut vertices. Okay. To prove that this, let us assume the contradiction. Let us assume that G has at most one vertex which is not a cut vertex. Actually, we have to prove that the graph G has at least 2 vertices which are not the cut vertices. To prove this, we assume the contradiction that G has at most one vertex which is not a cut vertex. If we suppose this one is the 2, then we get somewhere a contradiction, and this contradiction arises due to our wrong assumption. So from this we can conclude, if we get some contradiction, then then it is easy to prove that G has at least 2 vertices which are not the cut vertices. So let U and V be, vertices of G such that distance between them is the greatest distance between any pair of vertices in G. Here we have to take 2 vertices U and V from a graph G such that distance between these 2 vertices U and V is the greatest distance between any pair of vertices in G. And we know that the greatest distance between any pair of vertices in a graph G is nothing but the diameter of a graph G. Therefore, distance between U and V is nothing but the diameter of a graph G by the definition of diameter of a graph. So we have taken as G is a connected graph. We have taken G is a connected graph and n is greater or equal by 2, which implies G is connected graph with at least 2 vertices. And U and V be 2 vertices in G such that the greatest between them is the largest distance between any pair of vertices in a graph G, which implies U is not equal to V. So therefore U and V are 2 distinct vertices in a graph G, which is a connected graph. Okay, now as U is not equal to V, and we have assumed that G has at most one vertex which is not a correct vertex, but graph here there are at least two vertices U and V. Then from our assumption statement, G has a at most one vertex which is not a correct vertex. Then any one of the vertex from these two vertices is again a cut vertex, since graph G has at most one vertex which is not a cut vertex. Therefore, which implies any one vertex from U and V is a cut vertex by our assumption statement. Let V be a cut vertex. That is, assume that V is a cut vertex. As V is a cut vertex, then by definition of cut vertex, G minus V becomes a disconnected graph. As G minus V is a disconnected graph and U is already present, then there exists some vertex W which belongs to different component than the vertex U belong. That is, U is already present and G minus V becomes a disconnected graph. Then there exists some vertex W which belonging to the other component than the vertex U has, which implies W is a vertex which belongs to different component in which U is not present. Which implies U and W belonging to two different components, which implies U and W belong to two different components. As U and V belonging to, U and W belonging to two different components, then there is no path from vertex U to vertex W, and this is due to our vertex V, which is a cut vertex. Since if V is not a cut vertex, then G is a connected graph, then there is path from each vertex of a graph G to another vertex. But if we remove an vertex V from graph G, then vertex U and W belonging to two different components. So there is no path from vertex U to vertex W. So from this we can conclude that every U to W path contains an vertex V. Okay. So every U to W path contains an vertex V, which implies the shortest path from U to W contains and shortest path from U to V. So since vertex V is in between the every path from U to W, so shortest path from U to W contains and shortest path from U to V. So from this we can conclude that the path length of U to V is less than the path length of U to W. But we have assumed that vertex U and V are the vertices whose distance is the largest distance between any pair of vertices in graph G. But here we get vertices U and W which have largest distance than the vertices U and V. That is path length of U to W is greater than the path length from U to V. So which is contradiction to the definition of diameter of G, since we have assumed that diameter of G is nothing but the distance between U V. But here we get U to W is the path which have larger length than this path. So which is a contradiction to our supposition, and this contradiction arises due to our wrong assumption. Which assumption? Which is the assumption that the graph G has at most one vertex which is a cut vertex. So this assumption is wrong. Therefore, from this we can conclude that the graph G has at least two vertices which are not the cut vertices, which are not the cut vertices, and hence the proof. In previous lecture, in properties, the fifth property is there is no graph in which every vertex is a cut vertex, and from this theorem we have proved that there is no vertex in which every vertex is a cut vertex. That is, if we take any graph, then it has at least two vertices which are not the cut vertices. Therefore, from this we conclude that there is a no graph in which every vertex is a cut vertex, and hence the proof. Now, there are some definitions. Connectivity of graph. Let G be a simple graph. Then the connectivity of G denoted by K of G is the smallest number of vertices. Number of vertices in G whose deletion from G leaves either a disconnected graph or complete graph even. Okay. What is the connectivity of a graph? If G be a simple graph, then the connectivity of a graph G is denoted by K of G, and it is the smallest number of vertices in G whose deletion from G leaves a disconnected graph or K1. Since connectivity of G, we have to study the connectivity of a graph, since there are some examples of a graph in which every vertex is a not a cut vertex. For example, in complete graph, no vertex is a cut vertex. So in that particular cases, we have to take more than one vertices to disconnect the graph. So, and this one, and such a connection of vertices is nothing but the connectivity of a graph, and the number of such vertices is a connectivity of that graph. For example, this graph. If you remove any vertex from graph G, then graph is remains connect the number of connected component remains same, since it has no cut vertex. But we remove more than one vertex from this graph, then it becomes a disconnected graph. For example, if we remove vertex V2 and V6, then it becomes, here is V1 and we have removed V2 and V6. Here is V3, V4 and V5. So if we remove more than one vertices from this graph G, then graph becomes a disconnected. And by definition of connectivity of graph, connectivity of this graph will be denoted by K of G, and which is equal to 2. So to make this graph as a disconnected graph, we have to remove at least two vertices from this graph, and which is nothing but the connectivity of a graph G. Another example will be second example is remove any single vertex from this graph G, the graph is not a disconnected graph. So here we have to remove more than one vertex from graph G, then it becomes a disconnected graph. If we vertex two vertices V1 and V2, then V1, V2, then there is an connection between vertex V2 with V3, V5 and V4. Then also the graph becomes a connected graph itself if we remove two vertices. So to make this graph as a disconnected graph, we have to remove at least three vertices. Let us remove vertex V5. If we remove vertex V5, then we have to remove all the edges which are incident on that vertex V5. That is, the whole part is removed. Now we have to make the graph as a disconnected graph. So we have first removed vertex V5. Now remove vertex V5, V2. Then these two edges and vertex V2 is cancelled. And if we remove vertex V4, then there are only two vertices V1 and V3, and there is no edge joining between vertex V1 and V3. That is, the graph becomes a disconnected graph. So if we remove V2, V5 and V4, then G minus that, then G minus V2, V4 and V5 becomes disconnected. So from this connectivity of this graph G will be equal to 3. Since here we have to remove at least two vertices to make the graph as a disconnected graph, or it is equal to K1. Now for A equal to 2, deletion of any vertex from complete graph Kn, from complete graph Kn results in Kn minus 1. In general, deletion of T vertices from Kn results into Kn minus T, where T is less than. Let us check by taking the example. If suppose this one is the K3, V1, V2 and V3. Now, if we remove some particular vertex from a complete graph Kn, then it results into Kn minus 1. Let us remove the vertex V3, then it becomes a, if we remove vertex V3, then we have to remove also the edges incident on that particular vertex V3. Then it becomes a V1 to V2, and this one is nothing but the graph K2. So first one is the true. If deletion of any vertex from a complete graph Kn results into Kn minus 1. And in general, deletion of any T vertices from Kn results into Kn minus T, where T is less than 1. Take second example. take K4 and remove more than one vertex V1, V2, V3 and V4. Now remove any two vertices from this graph. Remove vertex V3 and V4. If we remove vertex V3 and V4, we have to remove all the edges incident on that particular vertices. So we get V1 to V1 to V2 and which is the K2. So this one is the also true. So from this we can conclude that connectivity of Kn is nothing but n minus 1. So we have to, if we have to make the complete graph to be a disconnected graph or it is equal to K1, then we have to remove at least n minus 1 vertices from Kn. Okay. Now G is connected graph. Okay. Graph. Then connectivity of G will be equal to 1 if and only if G equal to K2 or G has a cut vertex. If connectivity of G will be equal to 1, that is, if we remove single vertex from a graph G, then graph becomes a disconnected if and only if G equal to K2. K2 is nothing but this one. And if we remove any vertex from these two, then it becomes a K1 or G has a cut vertex. Then it is only possible that connectivity of G will be equal to 1. And connectivity of G will be equal to 0 and connectivity of G will be equal to 0 if and only if G equal to K1 or it is a or G is disconnected. Connectivity of G we have to take 0. That is into G equal to K1. That is single vertex. And we know that there is no graph in which there is no vertex. So here we can't delete any vertex from this graph. So connectivity of G will be equal to 0 if G equal to K1. This one is the K1. Here is vertex V1 or G is connected. If suppose it contains number of isolated vertices, then it is not possible to delete any vertex from it. So it becomes a disconnected and in that case connectivity of G will be equal to 0. Now there is one statement. Let U and V be vertices of a graph G. Of a graph G. Then the collection of U to V paths is said to be internally designed if for given any pair, if for given any distinct pair Pi and Pj, U and V only vertices in Pi and Pj having common. So U and V be any two vertices of a graph G, and this one is the collection of paths, that is collection of UV path, and it is said to be internally disjoint if are given any distinct pairs Pi and Pj. U and V are the only vertices which are common in these two distinct pair of paths. Then we say that this collection is a internally disjoint. So here our second chapter tree is completed. Thank you for watching the lecture.